Welcome to The Fraud Lab, where we unravel mysteries, expose scams, and equip you with the knowledge to protect yourself against the ever-evolving world of fraud. Hey lab rats, Joe here. Imagine someone perfectly mimicking your voice, putting words into your mouth that you've never spoken, or witnessing videos that look real but are entirely fabricated. These are the dark arts of deepfake and cheapfakes, and they have the power to deceive, manipulate, and destroy. Now, Martin Lewis, a respected authority in the world of finance, was used to endorse a financial scam he had no part in. This fraudulent video, convincing as it was, showcased the troubling implications of deepfake and cheapfake technology.
Musk presented his new project, in which he has already invested more than $3 billion. Musk's new project opens up great investment opportunities for British citizens. No project has ever given such opportunities to residents of the country, given the interesting features of the app.
In this episode of The Fraud Lab, join me in unmasking the new world of fraud. Allow me to introduce Richard Tomset, a seasoned expert in fraud detection and an applied scientist with extensive knowledge and experience. Among their numerous achievements and degrees, they hold a master's degree in artificial intelligence and a bachelor's in computer science. Richard.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, so I have a question about deepfakes versus cheapfakes.
Sure.
Can you actually show me what the difference is?
Yeah, I can tell you. So they're both forms of manipulated media. So cheapfakes is a term we use to refer to something that's been edited very basically using simple editing software. And it's usually when someone wants to, for example, swap a face from one person onto a target photo in order to either misinform or to pass a fraud check with a document that isn't theirs. That kind of thing. And they'll just copy and paste a face from one image to another. It's pretty basic, pretty unsophisticated. Cheap, exactly. But in contrast, deepfakes are much more sophisticated. So it's the similar kind of idea. You're trying to manipulate media, whether that's video or photos or even audio now as well. But they use advanced AI, so deep learning methods, to make the swap of the faces, for example, look much, much more realistic, almost indistinguishable from a real video. So I can actually, and if you really want to see now, I can show you what my face would look like when it's deepfaked onto your face.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's do it. So if you can take for me on this iPad a video of yourself, just looking left and right.
Okay.
That's perfect. And what I'm going to do now is I'll upload the video that you took to our service that we have running in our cloud environment. I've already uploaded a photo of my face, and I'm going to process it using our deepfake generation software. And I'm going to put my face on top of yours, and we can then see what that looks like. There we are.
Wow, check this out. What a handsome being. This is what our kid would look like.
Beautiful.
Do you agree? Comment below. So I guess my question is, would someone be able to spot a deepfake?
Well, let's run a test and find out.
Cool. Meet Laura Noy. She is the PR director at Onfido, and today, our participant in the challenge Richard and his team are setting up in the Fraud Lab.
Okay, Laura, we've got an interesting challenge for you to do in the Fraud Lab here today. We've got 6 videos of some of our colleagues, one of which might be subtly manipulated to have a face swap on. And we want you to try and spot from these videos which one you think is the deepfake. I'm going to hand over to Hardik, who's going to explain what we're going to ask you to do.
Yes, remember to look for the subtle details like irregular blinking, unnatural face movements, or misalignments in the facial features.
Okay. Are you ready to try it out?
Ready.
Let's have a look.
know that guy. Okay, I think I know who it is.
Wait, but before you say it, let's involve our viewers. If you think you know who it is, leave a comment below.
I think it's the person with the glasses.
Let's find out. Hardik?
That's impressive, Laura. That's correct. But there's a twist. There were 2 deepfakes hidden in there.
So there's another one.
We did trick you a little bit, I'm afraid. So you're quite right. The person with the glasses is actually your face swapped onto our colleague Ananya. We can see that again. So this is you as Ananya.
That is you.
I didn't recognize my own eyes at first.
So you're right. You can see in her video as well, the glasses are glitching a little bit when she turns her head left and right. There we go.
But not obviously, not too obviously.
You have to really be paying attention.
Yeah.
But the other deepfake was this one.
Oh, wow.
So you can, if you very carefully stare at the eyes, so that's Chris's face deepfaked onto Roberto. That's his face.
Oh, it's his face on this person.
Yeah, because you don't recognize the faces, and because Roberto has a beard, we've maintained the beard.
Wow.
So clever. Even the eyes, like.
So it glitches a little bit in the eyes. Yeah, you can pick that up. So we submitted that deepfake that you just saw as a real fraudster would to Onfido's anti-fraud systems. And this is the kind of result that you see. The way that a fraudster has to insert a deepfake is by intercepting the camera feed from their device and doing what we call an injection attack by inserting that pre-recorded deepfake into the camera feed instead of the real camera feed, which is showing the physical world. And that's the way they get the deepfake into the system. And that leaves some traces that we can spot. Even before we analyze the visual features of the video, we can look at the traces that are left by this process of doing an injection attack in order to stop it at source. And you can see from our report here that we've detected that the fraudster has used a fake webcam to submit this video, and there's been digital tampering. So we can immediately say, this is really fishy, even before we look at the visual contents of the video. As that gives us like our first line of defense against fraudsters.
So that was a pretty scary simulation. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on what we just saw.
It's a real challenge. Having tried it for myself now, I see how hard it is. You see how the technology has developed and it creates real realistic deepfakes. Yeah. And as we just see more, as we get increasing volumes of people onboarding, it's going to be harder to detect them. So we need vigilant technology that can help.
Exactly right, Laura. And as the technology advances, the threat posed by deepfakes becomes even more significant. Soon fraudsters will be using AI and they'll be able to create thousands of highly realistic deepfakes, making our jobs even more tougher. We've already seen an over 30 times increase of deepfakes submitted during Onfido ID checks in 2023.
Absolutely, Hardik. The digital deception dilemma is not going away anytime soon, and it's more crucial than ever to understand it and to combat it. Next time, we delve deeper into the world of AI-generated deepfakes and the critical strategies needed to defend against this new level of fraud. Until then, stay vigilant and keep your eyes open. The world of digital deception continues to reshape our reality.
For more episodes, subscribe below. And for more fraud content, sign up for our podcast and download our fraud report.